For me with photography as well, it was a case of just getting out there, doing it, taking photos every day or as many days in a row as I possibly could. And that's how I really built up from some of my earlier photos, which weren't very good, honestly, to the ones now, which are. What's up YouTube? We're back again for day number 9 of this 30-day challenge. So far, so good. It's really interesting to hear in the comments from you what you want me to talk about. I'm very excited today to talk about one of my favorite hobbies, which is photography. Let's jump right in. This is one of the first cameras that I ever bought for myself. In fact, it is the first camera that I bought for myself. It's a Fuji X-T2. Previous to that, I used a really old Canon camera that my sister had lying around and discovered that I really liked depth of field and bokeh and all those different things as I was just out and about taking different photos with that. And it became one of my hobbies ever since. So at the time when I got into this, I was living in Amsterdam. It's obviously a very beautiful city. So I'd go out at different times of day, try and learn how to take photos with different lighting. I quickly realized that one of my favorite ways of taking photos was to do street photography. So personally, I felt that like buildings are always there. They kind of look the same all the time, but if you take photos of people in places, that's a moment in time that's very, very unlikely to happen again. And for me, there's something really magic about that. So I find it very exciting to just go out for a little walk with my camera, maybe have it around my neck. I tend to shoot from the hip often as well, so that people don't really notice that I'm taking those photos. I think if you're walking along and someone comes up to you and puts a little camera in your face like this and tries to take a photo, it's really off-putting for people and they don't like it or don't appreciate it. So I think it does sometimes feel a little bit sneaky, but I prefer to shoot from lower down and really try and capture different angles and different moments in that way. I'll post up a few of my favorite photos as well as I'm talking throughout this video, so you can see the types of photos that I've created. Even though I love street photography, it's not the only thing that I stick to. I've definitely done other types. I've taken landscapes, I've taken photos of buildings, I've tried to do sort of long exposure and all that other stuff, but for me it's just all about walking around taking photos of people in places. The camera that I'm recording this on is a Sony A7R4, very sort of professional style camera, and it's not the type of camera that I would recommend to anyone to go and buy straight away, but it is the kind of thing that's allowed me to create these types of videos, the depth of field that you'll see within here, and some of the bokeh that's happening as well. And I have an amazing lens on this. It's a 28 to 75mm, so I can zoom in and out and change all the different perspectives. But generally, if I'm out and about doing street photography, I will put on a 35mm lens. It's kind of standard, allows for kind of a wide frame. It's a little bit easier to frame that and shoot from the hip. If I've got this 28 to 75 zoom lens, then I'm constantly changing the zoom, trying to get different photos, and I find that it doesn't work as well for that type of photography in general. I think, much like with this challenge, for me with photography as well, it was a case of just getting out there, doing it, taking photos every day or as many days in a row as I possibly could. And that's how I really built up from some of my earlier photos, which weren't very good, honestly, to the ones now, which are. Now I can find that when I go out with my camera, I'm generally going to get at least sort of 4 to 5 really good photos from maybe 100. And they're the ones that I'll work with, they're the ones that I'll move forward and try and style and edit and all that sort of stuff. I use Lightroom to edit them. That's another tool that I've learned from a young age. My background obviously in media production, graphic design, all that sort of stuff has meant that I learned all these tools pretty young and carried that through with me. But if you're interested in photography yourself, I would definitely try and find yourself a little beginner's camera, maybe just get yourself out there, take some kind of photos every day. And in fact, you can do that with an iPhone or an Android phone these days. They're so good that you can just create amazing photos with the thing that's in your pocket. Thanks for watching. See you next time. See ya!